So, hello everyone. आज actually Edney played artificial AI, and this is about navigating a career in finance. And we are also definitely taking some lessons from an ISB MBA with real world experience. So, इसको लागि चाहिँ we have Himanshu Ranjan Jha as a speaker for today's session. So, let's get started with this introduction. So, I would like to give this floor to Himanshu Dada.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Prasanna. Basically, from talking a bit about my background, right? I did my schooling till 12th from Dharan itself, right? Till 10th, I was studying in Navodaya in Dharan, and then I joined CBSE in DPS. So 10th and 12th, I studied there in commerce, and post that, I decided to move to India to complete my undergrad in BCom honors. I joined a college called Sriram College of Commerce, known as one of the best colleges for commerce in India. So I did that for 3 years, and then post that I joined PwC. So PwC, just to give you a background, it's one of the big four consulting firms, right? With Deloitte, KPMG, EY, and such. I was working there for 10 months. I was part of the management consulting team, right? But since it was a PMB role, I was mostly working at the back end, supporting the front end consultant with secondary research and a bit of financial modeling as well. And then I've always had an knack for finance, right? And then I always wanted to work in front end core finance in roles like investment banking, venture capital, or private equity. So, and that's when I got an opportunity to interview with Faber Capital, right? Faber Capital is basically a boutique investment bank, which is based out of the DIFC. I joined Faber as an analyst in October of 21. I worked there for around 2 years. I started as an analyst, worked my way across to become an associate before leaving for my MBA. I currently am doing my MBA at ISB, which is one of the top MBA colleges in India, and then globally as well. It's ranked 31 and such. At ISB, I'm majoring in finance and strategy. We just had our placements interviews done last week. I probably might be joining KPMG again, Indian Investment Banking Division. Very interesting practice, which I would like to talk more as we progress through this call. But yeah, that's a bit of my background.
For further information, we can go according to the slides.
Academic journey, like I said, to be honest, the main turn point was whether, in class 10th, right, whether to pursue commerce or pursue science, right? I was always interested in science, but because my dad he is an registered auditor, so I always was interested to, just do in terms of just being in that field of finance. He wanted me to be a CA. I did not really want to go through that 5-year study and then do, audit for 3 years and then start earning proper money. So I didn't do CA. The next best thing was to do BCom honors or some sort of like BA, BBA or something from one of good colleges, right? So, and that's why I joined SRCC. That's my pre-MBA academic journey. What motivated me to do MBA, especially from ISB? Okay, so after you do your undergrad, right? The kind of work that you do is very limited. Okay, most of the client-facing work, although you are involved in all of that, most of the client-facing work are given to post-MBA grads who join the company, right? And because they learn a lot of things, you learn a lot of things when you are doing an MBA, right? You learn people skills, you learn how to, speak with clients, you learn how to, handle different stakeholders in a transaction. Apart from that, the network that you create in an MBA, right? You meet a lot of people from different aspects of life. Like in my batch itself, there are people who are, for example, army veterans who have been in the army for 10 years or something. There are people who are like toppers from IIT Bangalore, who then went on to Amsterdam to do quantitative trading and such. We have people who are doctors and who have been in marketing and all that, right? So different fields of people. And just that in this 1 or 2 years that you do an MBA, you network a lot, right? And that's the value of an MBA. So, and that's what I wanted to get out of an MBA, right? Get that network and then also develop my people skills and just the confidence of going to a client and pitching a idea or bringing in business for the company and such. So that's one thing. And apart from that, I mean, the pre-MBA and post-MBA salaries, there's a huge difference in that, right? So those are the few things that motivated me to do an MBA. But yeah, I mean, if any other further questions on this, I'll be happy to take. Just to keep this interactive, right? Anyone else who is doing an MBA right now or who have already done an MBA here on the call?
जस्ट हामी क्याफेमा आउँदाखेरि हामीले कुरा गरेको थियौँ है रिगार्डिङ त्यही आइएसपीकै बारेमा अनि त्यसपछि यो भनौँ न युएस युनिभर्सिटी भनौँ न बिजनेस स्कुलमा पनि तिम्रो भएको थियो नि त होइन त्यसपछि त्यो चुज नगरिकन तिमीले यता आइएसपी चुज गर्यौ नि है त्यो बारेमा पनि अलिकति सेयर गरौँ न
त्यो चाहिँ यस्तो थियो त्यो बेला आई मिन मैले एमबिए यस्तो थियो long term हेर्नुपर्छ क्या लाइक long term where do you want to create your career, right? अब मलाई in case US गए पनि 10 years down the line if I want to come back to Nepal, right? मेरो long term vision के थियो भने I want to come when I retire I want to come back to Nepal and then build a fund of my own, right? Fund like Dolma Impact Fund or similar other funds. त्यस्तो टाइपको फन्ड उठो गर्नु थियो होइन अब त्यसको लागि मैले नेटवर्क कता क्रिएट गर्नु पर्यो भने यही साउथ एसियामा राइट इन्डियन सब कन्टिनेन्ट अर मिडल इस्ट राइट त्यहाँ मैले इन्भेस्टर नेटवर्क क्रिएट गर्नु पर्यो होइन अनि त्यसको लागि चाहिँ स्पेसली इन्डियामा बसेर द्याट नेटवर्क त्यो इन्डियामा एमबिए गरेर द्याट इनेबल्स मी टु क्रिएट द्याट नेटवर्क ओके त्यो मेरो पर्सनल उठो होइन अनि to be honest, in terms of just earning potential, right? Doing an MBA in US versus doing an MBA, doing a top MBA in India, it's almost like 5 to 7 years down the line. Equate huncha kya? US ma pani PPP terms ma purchasing power parity terms ma त्यति नै earn huncha जति after you do an MBA from business schools like ISB or I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore, or I am Calcutta for that matter, right? तपाईँले जति earn गर्नुहुन्छ after 5 years down the line after that MBA, it will be equivalent to what you will earn in the US. So, त्यो personal सबैले आफ्नो त्यो long term career goal हेर्नु पर्यो क्या. In terms of पैसा, it's almost equal. So the only deciding factor should be where do you want to build your career, right? Where do you want to build your network, and then where do you want to stay long term? So two factors sabai bujhera and then only you should apply to different colleges. What values, skills you acquire doing your MBA? I mean, त्यो भनिहाल्यो एउटा networking, right? I mean, त्यो कसरी network गर्ने, कसरी different मान्छेहरूलाई approach गर्ने, हैन? अनि just problem त्यो भन्दा पनि धेरै के थियो भने okay, I'll just talk a bit about case studies, right? Case studies, your MBAs are very case study based, okay? हाम्रो टिचिङमा त केस स्टडी हुन्छ नि हुन्छ हैन हामी जब प्लेसमेन्टको लागि प्रिपेयर गर्छौं नि स्पेशली कन्सल्टिङ रोल्सको लागि what we do is we do case prep, okay? Case prep ma different type of cases in profitability, go to market entry haru हैन in that case prep what we do is we take a problem statement and through a discussion between two people we try to break it down, okay? For example के छ भने एउटा vague problem statement भयो हैन like there has been decrease your client has approached you to give recommendation on a problem that he's facing and the problem is that last 3 years ma isko profit decline huँदैछ, okay? Now this is the only problem statement that you are given, okay? Case prep garda you have to starting what you have to do is you have to ask you have to think and ask के questions सोध्नु पर्यो मैले clientलाई so that मलाई relevant info आओस्, okay? For example अब मैले सोध्नु पर्यो has there पहिला company बुझ्नु पर्यो clientलाई हैन क्लाइन्ट कहाँ छ कुन रिजनमा काम गर्छ हैन के प्रोडक्ट बेच्छ कस्टमर कुन टाइपको हो कुन मार्केटमा यसको धेरै मार्केट शेयर के हो एन्ड अल दैट हैन त्यो प्रिलिमिनरी क्वेशन बुझेर Now, since it's a profitability problem, you will have to look at the profitability को उठो के हुन्छ revenue र cost, right? Now you have to ask कि हाम्रो revenue decrease भएको छ कि हाम्रो cost increase भएको छ कि now they will tell you कि होइन cost मा problem छैन revenue decrease भएको, then you have to go into the drivers of revenue and all that. So all of this problem solving skills होइन यो logical thinking यो सब develop हुन्छ क्या MBA मा through course and all, plus through just speaking with indulging in discussions with your colleagues, your classmates and all that. So those, I think those are the few skills that are very valuable. I mean, how did you develop them? Yeah, like just being in conversation with your colleagues and indulging in discussions every day. Reading is I mean that's obviously, I mean, you have to read a lot, and the professors that you get, right? You, especially ISB ma, right? I mean, professors come from the US को top colleges, Wharton, Yale, UK को colleges हरूबाट हैन, LSE बाट, London School of Economics, हाम्रो Imperial or थुप्रै कलेजहरुबाट आउँछ क्या. So just speaking with the professors, I mean, all that helps. That helps.
Okay. जस्ट हामीले पनि थाहा पायौँ होइन नेटवर्किङ केस स्टडिजको बारेमा छ, प्रब्लम सल्भिङ स्किल, लजिकल थिङ्किङ, कम्युनिकेसन, रिडिङ र मेन भनेको चाहिँ मेन्टरसिप है. यति
I think everyone should at least do case prep, no matter कुनै पनि इन्डस्ट्रीमा या कुनै पनि उतो सेक्टरमा काम गर्दैछौँ. Case prep चाहिँ, if you are targeting just going for an MBA or you want to build a career, right? Case prep चाहिँ गर्ने पर्यो क्या. Just have a look at there's a book called Case Interview Track by Victor Chong or something, right? I'll just send that link to you there, right? You can just circulate. But there are some books like that. There are some resources on YouTube as well. Those are very helpful just to help you think through problems and how to approach a problem and all that. I mean, not just, although my focus finance matter, that helped me a lot to crack even finance interviews and all.
ओके, हाम्रो नेक्स्ट क्वेसनमा पनि यही कुरा होइन. अब सपोज यो कुराहरू केस स्टडिजदेखि लिएर होइन, अब भनौँ न इट्स लाइक रिडिङहरू भयो होइन, अनि त्यसपछि काइन्ड अफ प्रब्लम सल्भिङ स्किल सबै कुराहरू त हामीले प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ नि त होइन. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ अनलाइन प्लेटफर्म्स, कोर्सेसहरू होइन, अब रिसोर्सेसहरू केही छ भने यु क्यान सेयर होइन.
Like IB को बारेमा I'll just give a brief background, right? किनभने नेपालमा इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्कको त्यति धेरै, and there are investment bankers who help with IPOs and who help raise capital and all that, right? Mergers firma. It's not a huge industry itself. Investment banking, what we do is we help companies with, obviously, like I said, mergers, acquisition, capital raise. We help them with, other strategic advisory as well. We help distressed businesses or rely to get them back on track in our helpers. This core skills to get into investment banking. First is obviously accountancy, finance, and just you need to have the skills of valuation, right? Valuation apart from that, there are websites like and to prepare that, right? Obviously, book suggestion, courses bachelor BBA, MBA, but there are websites like Wall Street Mojo, or go CFI, and especially for interviews, right? What I used to do is there's a book called Red Book from Wall Street Prep, and there's another book called 400 Questions. The 400 questions like the Bible ones for like investment banking interview tag. So those are the few resources that can be used. Okay, another very important skills in investment banking or any like finance, high finance ones. Like investment banking, private equity, venture capital, right? High finance ko job another very important skill is financial modeling. Okay, financial modeling would involve like project finance model, DCF valuation models, or restructuring models, LBO models. Two skills are very important. I think the first website that I used was back in PwC called gridlines.com. Okay, GRIDLINES. So they have a free resource they teach you how to do like a model for a solar plant, I believe, from end to end, scratch to scratch. They teach you from scratch, and that's a really good. A lot of free resources on financial modeling as well, but that's something you should. Also, I mean, to be honest, apart from that, to be great at finance and investment banking in general, you should be really good at thinking on your feet, right? कुनै पनि उटले तिम्रो एमडीले VP ले म्यानेजरले जे पनि भन्यो भने you should quickly be able to think, and that comes from just practice and all that problem solving, like I said.
ओके, यो कुराहरू त जस्ट एकदमै फ्रुटफुल नै हुन्छ। लास्ट टाइम त्यही एक दुई आइएसपी जोइन हुनुभन्दा अगाडि नै हाम्रो के कुरा भएको थियो भने यो त्यही सोलर प्यानल समथिङ एउटा कुनै इन्डस्ट्री भयो, कुनै एउटा बिजनेस भयो, त्यो बिजनेसको चाहिँ एउटा भनौँ न काइन्ड अफ एक्सेल सिटमा स्टार्टिङदेखि नै फर्स्ट इयरको, सेकेन्ड इयर, थर्ड इयर, फोर्थ इयर होइन, त्यसपछि त्यसको इनपुट्सहरूमा चेन्ज गर्ने त्यो कुराहरू पनि भएको थियो नि, जस्ट लाइक एक्सेलमा हालेर त्यसको फाइनेन्सियल मोल्डिङहरू गर्ने जुन भनेको थियो नि होइन, अनि त्यो बारेमा पनि अलिकति केही
like financial model को एउटा basic structure के हुन्छ भने first you start with your input or what you call it as assumption sheet होइन, त्यसमा चाहिँ you put in different assumptions as to your revenue assumption, cost assumption, your capex assumptions होइन, depreciation अनि debt capital ratio हरूको assumption हरू. Now you start with building your operational metrics. Okay, तपाईको जसले revenue impact गर्छ, अब revenue driver for example एउटा solar plant को होइन, solar plant को you have to think about what are the revenue generating drivers. Okay, solar plant को के हुन्छ, कति sunlight absorb गर्छ अनि कति त्यसको output हुन्छ in terms of gigawatt hour or whatever होइन, कति सनलाइट अब्जर्भ गरेर इलेक्ट्रिसिटीमा कति कन्भर्ट हुन्छ, त्यसको लोड फ्याक्टरहरू हुन्छ, कन्भर्जन फ्याक्टर हुन्छ, त्यो सबै इनपुट गरेर होइन, एन्ड द्याट अल अफ द्याट इनपुट शुड बी भेरी डाइनामिक. ओके, यु शुड बी एबल टु चेन्ज इट विथ जस्ट one click and such, okay, or just type it out and then the whole model should flow accordingly. Okay, so to गर्नु पर्छ होइन, you have to put that logic in an Excel formula or use or if formula, nested if formula, VLOOKUP or थुप्रै formulaहरू हुन्छ that you will have to use across the financial model. Now तपाईले त्यही revenue model build गर्नुभयो, त्यसपछि cost model हेर्नुपर्छ, like cost of goods sold कति हो, तपाईको staff salary कति हो, त्यसको प्रोजेक्सन्स पनि हेर्नुपर्छ कि ओभर द लाइफ अफ द प्रोजेक्ट त्यो इन्क्रिज हुँदैछ इन्फ्लेसनको सँगै छैन, त्यो सबै इनपुट हाल्नु पर्यो. लाइक जस्ट गिभिङ यो बेसिक त्यो के फ्याक्टरहरू हामीले हेर्नुपर्छ फाइनेन्सियल मोडलमा. ओके, अनि त्यसपछि तपाईँले त्यो ब्यालेन्स सिट, पिएनएल, क्यास फ्लो बनाउनु भयो होइन. मेन कुरा हुन्छ यस्तो मोडलहरूमा यु हेभ टु लुक एट द what investors are interested in and what is the valuation of the company, right? So 5 years, 10 years down the line, right? किनभने अहिले पैसा हाल्यो भने 5 year 10 वर्षपछि if they exit from the investment, exit as in if they sell their shares from that company, right? How much return will they generate, right? So त्यसको लागि to attract the investors by saying कि this much return that you will generate भनेर you'll have to build that all that projections and show a valuation at the end of the period. Okay, अनि त्यो valuation को लागि तपाईले DCF गर्नुपर्छ. Okay, discounted cash flow मेथड हुन्छ. discounted cash flow मा तपाईले पहिला free cash flow निकाल्नु पर्यो. free cash flow पनि फर्मुला छ. Okay, त्यो direct cash flow statement देखि we can't just take the cash that's given in the in the balance sheet. You have to look at the free cash flows. You have to project it and discount it using a WACC rate. Okay, weighted average cost of capital हुन्छ. त्यसको पनि फर्मुला हुन्छ. अब त्यसमा पनि तपाईले you have to look at cost of equity, cost of debt होइन, अनि cost of equity मा पनि it's a lot, right? You have to look at risk free rate कति हो होइन. हाम्रो नेपालमा स्पेशली रिस्क फ्री रेट लाइक नर्मली cost of equity धेरै हुन्छ किनभने रिस्की हुन्छ प्रोजेक्ट्स होइन. फाइनेन्सको मेन फन्डा यही हो कि if there's more risk there will be more return that someone will expect for taking on more risk. So त्यो सबै बिल्ड गर्नुपर्छ लजिकहरू फाइनेन्सियल मोडलमा. We can have a different session one day त्यसमा, but it's a huge topic, but that's a core skill that one should have no matter like any finance, कुनै पनि फाइनेन्सको कुनै पनि फिल्डमा गयो भने except I mean commercial banking and all. Even commercial banking मा if you are working in a credit department, right? trade department le pani before giving out loans to companies and all, they look at the business model, business plan, and see the projections. कति त्यसले to cash flow हेरेर हाम्रो debt service coverage ratio को like minimum debt service coverage ratio fulfill गर्दैछ कि छैन त्यो हेर्नुपर्छ. त्यसको लागि पनि financial modeling गर्छ. So almost every finance उटोमा फिल्डमा including commercial banking, investment banking, or सबैमा you have to know financial modeling, right? So त्यो सबै बुझ्नु. Yeah.
ओके थ्याङ्क यू होइन. अब यो कुरामा अझै म एक दुईवटा लास्टमा सोध्छु होइन, अलिकति एआई युज गरेर कस्तो के गर्न सकिन्छ होइन, त्यो कुराहरू हाम्रो कम्युनिकेट भइरहेको हुन्छ. ओके हामी नेक्स्ट क्वेसनमा जानुपर्छ है. ओके यो बारेमा
Mentorship, right?
मेन्टरसिप.
Mentorship, to be honest, personally, I have people who I go to just to, bounce off different thoughts, right? To think out loud with them. For example, at the end, like if there's 2-3 things that I'm thinking about, just to talk to them about what are we thinking about, that just helps, guide in guidance and such. And हामीले के हुन्छ भने like when we look over the internet कि यो जबमा के हुन्छ डे टु डे हैन, यो जबले के इन्टेल गर्छ, के स्किल्स चाहिन्छ, most of the times it's very different from what actually is the case day to day उटोमा वर्किङमा तिमीले के गर्नुपर्छ भनेर हैन. So for that you should get in touch with, every time you are looking to get into an industry or work in an industry, you should get in touch with someone who is working in the industry at that point, right? And then who can guide you and then tell you this is the skills, these are the skills that you need, these are the different day-to-day responsibilities that you will be working on and all that. So yeah, mentorship is important at such, but you just have to identify the right mentor for different roles or at different point in your life.
ओके यसमा अलिकति एडिसनल्ली भनौँ न, यहाँनिर जस धेरैजना ब्याचलर्सको स्टुडेन्ट हुनुहुन्छ अनि मास्टर्सको पनि हुनुहुन्छ है. इम्पोर्टेन्स अफ लिङ्कडिन क्या, त्यो बारेमा ओके त्यो बारेमा भन्ने हो.
LinkedIn to the no-brainer for networking, especially our Nepal pani. I mean, LinkedIn ke what you get all the information, you get to connect with CEOs, CFOs, manager, vice president of companies across Nepal, Nepal wide pani. You can just send and you can just message them, and they're very active on LinkedIn, right? You can just reach out to them and they will reply mostly. Okay, normally Ramani message go on, they just reply. Right, and then that's how you build connections, right, in the industry. If you want to apply to that company, they would know that this is the person that reached out to me, right? And then if you are active on LinkedIn and such as well, right, when they see your post, they will build the opinion of you, right, from LinkedIn. But LinkedIn presence for Taniki, this is someone who knows about the industry, who thinks, who is very intellectual and all that, follows news and all that. So two-way LinkedIn is very, very important. That's almost, no-brainer. Everyone should be in LinkedIn. Everyone, bachelor, master, student. As India, 10 class student LinkedIn request they start so early, to networking. Competition पनि टक्छ, but that's how it's going to be in Nepal as well. The competition also increases the answer, so it's better to get a head start and then start being active on LinkedIn as soon as possible.
ओके थ्याङ्क यू. मैले पनि लिङ्कडिनबाट धेरै फाइदा भएको छ मलाई पनि. त्यसपछि मैले रोड म्याप चाहिँ सबै कुराहरू लिङ्कडिनबाटै सर्ट आउट गरेर लेख्ने अनि अगाडि बढ्दैछु म पनि. ओके
तपाईँले पनि हेर्नु, त्यो प्रोफेसरहरूले बाँकी कलेजहरूको प्रोफेसरहरूले पनि बाहिरतिरको दे पोस्ट अ लट होइन, अनि रेगुलरली पोस्ट गरिराख्ने हुन्छ, एन्ड दे रिप्लाई टु यर कमेन्ट्स एन्ड अल द्याट, दे रिप्लाई टु यर मेसेजेस. Okay, I think this will be, to be honest, this will be relevant to both undergrads and master students. MBA you can do after a master's as well. So ISP ko ke cha bhane, ISP to tinta round ma admission cha, round 1, round 2, round 3. Round 1 ko deadline I think September huncha, round 2 ko December, and round 3 ko January, right? But better to apply in round 1 just because ki scholarship harule paउँछ round 1 ma. And especially international students, like Nepalko bhayera international student mai ganinchum, so scholarship paउने chances there. The fees is a lot ISP ma, हैन. I think Miro oil is normal, not 1 year program, so just fees around 45 lakhs Indian rupees. So it's great to have a scholarship ISP, but any process before application, right? Before applying to ISP or any other business school, India ya abroad, US UK you have to prepare for a GMAT. One thing that is one thing you should be prepared for, right? GMAT 3 months, 6 months, spend time to prepare for GMAT. Give your GMAT, give your best attempt. First attempt may try to get as best scores as you can. I think नयाँ GMAT को नयाँ GMAT focus छ पहिला GMAT classic थियो अहिले GMAT focus छ GMAT focus मा you should at least try to get into top B schools, right? At least try to get 645 GMAT FE scores, which translates to around 700 in GMAT classic. Minimum त्यो चाहिन्छ हामीले. हाम्रो obviously we have that advantage नेपाली भएर that Nepali applicants त्यति धेरै हुँदैन compared to Indian applicants and all. So February हामीलाई अलिक फेभर गर्छन् applications मा, but then at least 700 like 645 GMAT focus score हामीले हुनु पर्यो, right? And for that GMAT is not that difficult an exam, right? You just have to be very confident about your quant skills and your verbal skills, right? Verbal त अझै अहिले easy गरिदिएको छ, पहिला ओभर गाह्रो थियो, especially अहिले sentence को एकछिन हटाइदिएको छ. But still, it's a tough exam in the sense that the competition is very high, right? To GMAT score percentile basis, so you are in this many percentile. Time management is very important. But if you are planning for an MBA, get started with GMAT as soon as possible. Get that out of the way. GMAT is only one part of your application. Okay, GMAT sakepachi, what B schools look at is your overall profile. Okay, GMAT score is just one line in your whole resume or in your whole profile. Okay, what they look at is your, previous work that you have done. Okay, where have you studied? What have you done along with your studies? Or like extracurricular, someone that is great. Working with an NGO, working volunteering, and all that is great. Apart from that, you should also be very, try to do as much meaningful work as you can. Okay, although like even if days of boarding are day to day, like bank tailor type of jobs, try to do something apart from that as well after free time. Tutor a few students or get involved with some research institutes and help them out and all that, so that your profile holistically builds. And like top MBA colleges, they look at your profile. Like work work kasto cha, or like education track record kasto cha, which also gets shown from your GMAT school, but or leadership skills kasto cha, त्यो सबै highlight हुनु पर्यो के तपाईको प्रोफाइलबाट. So त्यो भनेको यो सबै चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने, so तपाईले actually like application submit गर्दा you have to submit essays along with the application. And दुईटै question दिन्छ, 250 words, 500 words को essay लेख्नु पर्छ. Essay मा चाहिँ you have to build a very compelling story about yourself. Okay, that's mostly strength, weaknesses. Tell me about the time that you faced failure and how did you learn from it. That's the type of question. So you have to build a very compelling story. Okay, and to like prepare, like as soon as you get done with your GMAT, start building that storyline. Okay, start rough work or like prepare first 1-2 drafts of that of few essays and all, and previous year to applications already. Go to this website called GMAT Club. It's a huge community of people who go to B school, who apply to B school. Only have person with reviews and all that. But whenever you do prepare your first or second draft of the essays, reach out to people like of the business school that you are applying to. Okay, get that reviewed from an alum or someone who is currently studying in that business school. Don't take help from all of this. Personally, my opinion is don't take help from your ITP and all that, to consultant type concern. Just so like you can just apply on your own and get that offer from a business school. Just to help try to like you can just reach out to alums on GMAT Club or LinkedIn and all that and get things reviewed easily. And that will be more valuable advice when it comes to it. So after that you are done with your essay, you just submit, and then essays, if shortlist भयो भने they send you a interview invite. Okay, अब interview मा पनि they mostly ask you about your behavioral questionहरू सोध्छन् क्या, त्यही strength weaknesses, कुनै कामको बारेमा conflict यताउता, motivation के हो हैन, short term goal के हो 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, अनि what do you plan to get out of this MBA हैन, career goal के हो, consulting मा जाने हो कि फाइनेन्स मा जाने को, फाइनेन्स मा जाने भए कुन फिल्डमा जाने हो, फाइनेन्स मा, इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्किङ मा, PE मा, कर्पोरेट फाइनेन्स मा जाने हो, त्यो सबै रेडी भएर राख्नु पर्यो क्या बिफोर यु, लाइक एज सुन एज यु गेट डन विथ योर GMAT, start thinking on those lines, be prepared for your essays and your interviews. And that was all. I mean, ISB is almost same journey too. I prepared for GMAT for like I left my work in September 2023 and I prepared for 3 months, gave my GMAT and direct application diye and interview 2 mahinaपछि थियो. Smoothly हुन्छ process normally, but then you just have to be very confident on all the things that you have written in an essay.
दादा मेरो एउटा क्वेसन थियो.
Since internships are a significant part of BBA, especially when targeting for like ISB, IIM, and other top business schools, so what types of volunteering or internships would you recommend? Like, and could you suggest where we should focus on applying?
See, internships are okay. So there are two things, right? Internship obviously like similar to long-term goals on a match गर्नु पर्यो, so that it shows intent कि यो मान्छेलाई यही फिल्डमा जानु छ, यसैले यसले यो स्टेप लिएको भनेर अनि यसैले यो बिजनेस स्कुलमा अप्लाई गर्छ, so that he or she can get into that field भनेर हैन. One, that if you want to be in finance, obviously try to get an internship in bank or investment banks, or just reach out to even companies outside Nepal, right, where they normally let you do a virtual internships and all. So reach out to that. Apart from to be honest, त्यति धेरै help gotten an internship, like especially MBA हरूमा. My personal suggestion, at least what I have heard from people as well, it's always good to do an MBA after you work for at least 2 years after your bachelor's. Okay, that's just पछि 2 वर्ष काम गरेर then you should do an MBA. You at that point you get that clarity कि where do you want to, which industry do you want to work on, and you get that फाटे कन्फिडेन्स पनि आउँछ, नेटवर्क पनि थाहा पाइन्छ क्या, लाइक वर्क लाइक कस्तो हुन्छ भनेर, एन्ड द्याट हेल्प्स अ लट MBA मा. अदरवाइज स्पेसली टप MB स्कुलहरूमा US, इन्डियामा त चलो लाइक द एभरेज वर्क एक्सपिरियन्स अफ पिपल हु जोइन MBA IIMsहरूमा त 2 years हुन्छ, 2 years 3 years, ISB मा around 5 years छ. इभन बाहिरतिर लाइक US UKहरूमा टप MBAहरूमा हार्वर्ड, येल, के भन्छ टक्स, UNC, Kenan Fagler, सबैमा 5 years plus हुन्छ minimum, like average work experience across the board. So it's always good to have 2 years of work experience, and preferably in the field that you want to get into after MBA. Okay, obviously, I mean, Nepal ma alik garo cha. If you want to get into investment banking after MBA, for example, it's very difficult to get into investment banking in Nepal, right? But then you can show your intent by maybe doing CFA and all, right, while you are working in a commercial bank in Nepal. So do it like all the finance ma chu, but opportunity China त्यसैले मैले CFA गर्दैछु, so I can get that opportunity after doing my MBA. So to एउटा स्टोरी लाइन बनाउनु पर्यो क्या, कन्भिन्स गर्नु पर्यो त्यो इन्टरभ्युअरलाई, MBA को इन्टरभ्यु लिनेलाई कि यसको इन्टेन्ट ठिक छ, she has shown intent right now, and she has shown intent before applying to ISB or another B school. So yeah, I hope that gives some clarity.
Okay.
Okay, हामी अर्को क्वेसनमा जान्छौँ अब. ओके, इन्टरभ्यु साइड बारे अलिकति
मैले त भने त्यो 400 क्वेसन मैले प्रिपेयर गरेँ, अनि दुई तिनवटा आउट हुन्छ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्किङमा. normally तीनटा टाइपको इन्टरभ्युज हुन्छ ओके तीनटा टाइपको प्रेप हुन्छ फर इन्टरभ्यू देयर इज टेक्निकल प्रेप देयर इज डिल एक्सपिरियन्स प्रेप देयर इज अनि फिट एन्ड बिहेभियरल प्रेप होइन टेक्निकल प्रेप अभियसली त्यो एकाउन्टिङ कन्सेप्टहरू सबै थाहा हुनु पऱ्यो फाइनेन्सको कन्सेप्टहरू थाहा हुनु पऱ्यो त्यो रेसियोज एन्ड अल द्याट होइन भ्यालुएसन कन्सेप्टहरू सबै थाहा हुनु पऱ्यो एउटा इन्डस्ट्री कसरी एनालाइज गर्ने त्यो थाहा हुनु पऱ्यो होइन यु सुड बी भेरी अवेर अबाउट द मार्केट होइन अहिले मार्केटमा के चलिरहेछ स्टक मार्केटमा के चलिरहेछ इन्भेस्टर्सहरूले पैसा निकाल्दैछन् किन निकाल्दैछन् होइन युएसको इकोनोमीले कसरी इम्प्याक्ट गर्दैछ इन्डियन इकोनोमी अरू साउथ एसियन इकोनोमीलाई इन जेनरल होइन युएस इलेक्सनले कसरी इम्प्याक्ट गर्यो अहिले जस्तै पुरै साउथ एसियाको उतो स्टक मार्केटहरू डाउन गएको थियो आफ्टर युएस इलेक्सन्स त्यो किन भयो होइन त्यो एक्सपेक्टेड इन्ट्रेस्ट रेटको के हुन्छ इन्फ्लेसनले कसरी इम्प्याक्ट गर्छ यो सबै इकोनोमिक्सको टपिकहरू प्लस फाइनेन्सको टपिकहरू एकाउन्टेन्सीको टपिकहरू यो सबै प्लस इन्डस्ट्री नलेज हुनु पर्यो होइन इन्डस्ट्री यु सुड सो म यो इन्डस्ट्रीमा इन्ट्रेस्टेड छु एन्ड यु सुड लाइक भ्यालिडेट द्याट बाई गिभिङ लाइक त्यो इन्डस्ट्रीको ट्रेन्ड के छ होइन के ग्रोथ ड्राइभरहरू के छ इन्डस्ट्रीमा लेटेस्ट इन्भेस्टमेन्टहरू के भइरहेछ लेटेस्ट मर्जर्स एक्विजिसन के छ होइन अल द्याट ग्रोथ रेट के ग्रोथ रेट एन्ड अल द्याट त्यो सबै हेर्नु पर्यो होइन यो चाहिँ टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट हो बिहेभियरलमा अभियसली जो स्ट्रेन्थ विकनेसेस एन्ड अल द्याट होइन वाइ डु वान वर्क इन दिस कम्पनी भनेर हुन्छ स्पेसली केपिएमजीको के थियो भने केपिएमजीमा सो आइ एम जोइनिङ अ टिम विच इज very much focus in restructuring अनि distresses के हुन्छ भने companies that are going bankrupt or something right who has filed for bankruptcy now how do we do a turnaround for them okay investment bankers के भन्छ भने त्यो strategy पनि create गर्छ कि although it's in a very bad shape right now कसरी turnaround गर्न सकिन्छ होइन for doing that turnaround we bring in other investors who can put in equity and create a joint venture and all that भनेर so that's a very interesting field त्यसको लागि अब रिस्ट्रक्चरिङ स्पेसिफिक टेप गर्नु पर्यो होइन रिस्ट्रक्चरिङ मोडल कस्तो बन्छ होइन डिफ्रेन्ट डेटहरू कसरी स्ट्रक्चर गरिन्छ किनभने अभियसली डिस्ट्रेसेस भने रिस्की धेरै हुन्छ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट होइन यु कान्ट because the equity investors are taking a lot of risks कि यो company turnaround नहुनु पनि सक्छ भनेर अब त्यसको लागि के हुन्छ भने not just equity investors ब्याङ्कहरूले पनि ओभर धेरै रेटमा लोन दिन्छ होइन न हामीले यसरी स्ट्रक्चर गर्नुपर्छ कि त्यो 3-4वटा डिफ्रेन्ट टाइप्स अफ डेटहरू लाएर ओभरअल कस्ट अफ डेटहरू लाइक वी हेभ टु ब्रिङ इट डाउन वी हेभ टु मोडल इट एन्ड अल द्याट सो त्यो स्पेसिफिक स्टेपहरू गर्नु पर्यो बाकी डिल एक्सपिरियन्समा त अभियसली आई मिन मेरो केसमा आई हेभ बिन इन इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्किङ फर लास्ट 2 years सो मैले जति पनि डिलहरू गरेको थिएँ मर्जर एक्विजिसनमा होइन अनि के भन्छ डेट रेज प्रोजेक्ट फाइनेन्समा अल द्याट त्योहरू गिभिङ अ ब्याकग्राउन्ड हाम्रो डिलहरू कस्तो थियो भने लाइक फर इक्जाम्पल आई हेभ डन अ मर्जर एक्विजिसन डिल जसमा चाहिँ एउटा दुबईको कम्पनी जुन हाम्रो क्लाइन्ट थियो सेल साइड क्लाइन्ट त्यसले आफ्नो सेयर बेच्न चाहन्थ्यो द एक्वायर वाज अ कम्पनी फ्रम युएस होइन लिस्टेड कम्पनी अमेरिकल भन्ने वी ब्रड देम इन होइन मार्केटिङहरू गर्नुपर्छ हामीले पिच डेक बनाउनुपर्छ टिजर बनाउनुपर्छ वी हेभ टु ब्रिङ द्याट इन्भेस्टर इन अनि त्यसपछि एनबिओ भनेर साइन हुन्छ नन बाइन्डिङ अफर त्यसमा इनिसियल प्राइस दिन्छ क्या 80मा यो सेयर किन्ने अब त्यसमा नेगोसिएट पनि गर्नु पर्यो एज अ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्कर वी नेगोसिएट अन बिहाफ अफ आवर क्लाइन्ट who is selling the shares, right? अब त्यो नेगोसिएट गर्दाखेरि हामीले डिफेन्ड गर्नु पर्यो कि तपाईँले दिएको भ्यालुएसन ठिक होइन दिस हायर भ्यालुएसन इज वाट वी थिङ्क इज फेयर भनेर अब त्यसको लागि मोडलहरू बनाउनु पर्यो कि यो कम्पनीको सेयरको भ्याल्यु यति हो भनेर अब किन यति हो त्यो सबै बिल्डिङ गर्नुपर्छ कि जेबी बनेपछि यति एक्सप्यान्ड गर्न सकिन्छ यति धेरै मर्जर अझै गर्न सकिन्छ अझै धेरै रेभेन्यू बढ्छ प्रफिट बढ्छ भनेर अब त्यो सबै हेर्नु पर्यो त्यसपछि ड्यु डिलिजेन्स भन्छ ड्यु डिलिजेन्स भन्नाले अब त्यो कम्पनीले त्यो युएस कम्पनीले फर एक्जाम्पल दे विल लुक एट अल द एकाउन्ट्स लिगल थिङ्स अफ द्याट कम्पनी कि कुनै केस छ कि छैन कस्टमर कन्ट्र्याक्टहरू छ कि कस्तो छ विल दिस मर्जर एफेक्ट दोज कस्टमर कन्ट्र्याक्ट होइन कुनै बिजनेस त लुज हुँदैन एन्ड यो सबै हेर्नुपर्छ अनि एज अ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्कर यु लुक थ्रु अल अफ दोज कन्ट्र्याक्ट बिफोर सेन्डिङ इट आउट टु द बाई साइड ओके किनभने कुनै रेड फ्ल्याग भयो भने वी आर द वान रेस्पोन्सिबल because there's an incentive for that. Okay, investment bankers success fee ma काम गर्छौँ हामी. Like if the deal goes through, only then we get paid. Otherwise, like एक वर्ष deal चल्यो अनि एक वर्षपछि बन्द भयो भने if it does not close, हामीले investment bankers don't get anything. So there's an incentive for investment bankers to like do the best for the client. Actually, काम पनि धेरै हुन्छ. But yeah, you सबै like deal experience. Basically, you have to be very thorough with what you have done in your work before applying to a new role. So yeah, they prep गर्नु पर्यो mostly.
ओके, हामीसँग रोहित भाइ पनि हुनुहुन्छ. रोहितले पनि भर्खरै बिबी सकाएको छ र यहाँनिर हाम्रो एडनेपमा भनौँ न एक प्रकारले रोहितले पनि धेरै हामीलाई सपोर्ट गरिरहेको छ. ओके, राइट नाउ उसले सिएफएको पनि प्रेप गरिरहेछ. त्यसपछि उसको केही कुरा इन्साइट, केही कुरा क्वेसनहरू सोध्नुपर्ने छ. ओके रोहित.
Rohit, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. Actually, I have been developing models here at CG as well, but मलाई चाहिँ त्यसैलाई लिएर हल्का क्वेरी थियो है. अब यो हामीले चाहिँ मोडल बनाउँदाखेरि मेजर प्रब्लम कहाँ देखिरहेछौँ भन्दाखेरि यो क्यास फ्लो जुन हुन्छ नि फोरकास्ट, बिकज द्याट्स द मेजर पार्ट अफ मोडल. अनि त्यो फोरकास्टमा चाहिँ धेरै किन भन्दाखेरि जसरी फोरकास्ट गरिरहेको हुन्छ we make forecast again go back at it and find that cash flow forecasts are mostly like exact मा सबैभन्दा बढी डेभिएसन आउने क्यास फ्लो फोरकास्टमै देखिरहेको छ. सो त्यो भएर त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीहरूले अलिकति टेक्निकल छ, बट हाउ डु वी डु द्याट भन्ने कुरा नै
मेनली लाइक त्यो उतो चाहिँ कति आउँछ डेल्टा एजेन्ट त्यो डिफरेन्स कति आउँछ फोरकास्ट र एक्चुअलमा त्यसो त धेरै नै डिफरेन्स आइराखेको हुन्छ कि के
एक्चुअलमा. एक्चुअली आई हेभ नट त्यो पर्सेन्टेजमा चाहिँ मेजर गरेको छैन, बट त्यो क्यास फ्लो चाहिँ बिकज हामीहरूले चाहिँ इन्डिरेक्ट मेथडबाट गरेर हुन्छौँ. अनि लाइक इभन सिएजहरूले चाहिँ पछि गएर हामीहरूलाई एडभाइस दिँदाखेरि डिरेक्ट मेथडबाट चाहिँ मोर एक्युरेट आउँछ भनेर भन्नुभएको छ. बट आइड लाइक टु हियर योर इन्साइट अन द्याट.
I mean, direct, indirect, to be honest, मेरो उटोमा चाहिँ it doesn't matter हैन. The only thing is कि तिम्रो assumptionहरू are they solid or not हैन. First thing assumption हेर्दा अब cash flow impact गर्ने तीनटा मेजर कुरा हुन्छ हैन. Obviously your revenue forecast, your cost forecast, and your working capital forecast हैन. मैले चाहिँ हेरेको working capital is a major part that people get wrong. Okay, अब working capital मा के हुन्छ भने I think you should go back and see कि revenue त I think should be straightforward. पहिलाको उतो trend हेरेर you can just project हैन. Otherwise के उतो expansion plan छ भने त्योहरू you can include in your forecast and then project your revenue. Cost also normally is just a percentage of your revenue, so you just forecast based on that. If the revenue forecast go on, cost just take a percentage and then forecast it. Problem also working capital, right? Working capital, you have to take a lot of assumptions, and those assumptions don't really, especially in Nepal case, I don't think it holds always. Timro working capital, receivable days or payable days, receivable days you don't get to collect money, although contract ma lekeko huncha 45 days bhitra paisa pay garnu paryo bhanera people don't pay that out, right? Companies don't pay that out, they delay it by a lot of days, right? So harek year ma at least मैले दुई तीनवटा companies in Nepal मा हेरेको थिएँ, harek year days फाल्टै थियो क्या, days of receivable, days payable फाल्टै हुन्छ. अनि even if you average it out हैन, take a average of the last 3 years projection मा राम्रै देखिदैन हैन. I think त्यसले गर्दा चेन्ज हुन सक्छ. just go back and see कि working capital days, working uto days, inventory should be straightforward. Inventory मा त problem नआउनु पर्ने हो, especially CG मा त problem नआउनु पर्ने हो. Mainly working capital, working uto payable days or receivable days मा problem हुन सक्छ. Also see अरु like apart from this कि debt schedule अरु ठिक छ कि छैन normally हुनु पर्ने हो, because it's given by the bank, त्यो schedule अनुसार payment गर्नु पर्छ. Capex पनि straightforward होला. But I think working capital, just focus on working capital. Once working, I think mostly when मैले जति पनि मोडलहरु बनाएको छु, working capital has most of the time has been the culprit. Projection actual सँग match नहुने भयो. Actually, let me know to reach out to me. I mean, confidential information हैन भने just reach out to me कि कस्तो के help चाहियो भने.
Sure, brother. Actually, mine त्यही नै लागिरहेको थियो वर्किङ क्यापिटलकै इस्टिमेसन्सहरूको प्रब्लम छ. I will reach out to you and talk further on this one.
Sure, sure. That will help.
ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेसनमा हामी जाउँ. अब सकिनु लाग्यो भनौँ न. ओके यसमा चाहिँ सर्टकट वेमा
What challenges did you face transitioning from? I mean, त्यही हो एक्जामको लागि प्रिपेयर गर्न दिमाग खराब हुन्छ. But जबमा पनि दिमाग खराब हुन्छ. But then to get back to that rhythm of studying, right? Every day, just being like making that habit, building that habit of studying every day. It's a bit of a challenge initially. I mean, you get hang of it after a while. एक दो महीना आउँछ गरेपछि you just get hang of it. But yeah, and also you're not getting a salary at the end of the month, so that's another thing that is another challenge that you face while you're doing an MBA. But mostly they do the.
ओके हामीसँग अझै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ क्वेसनहरू पनि छ होइन. ओके म चाहिँ हामी सर्टकटमा जान्छौँ र लास्टमा चाहिँ तपाईँहरूसँग केही छ भने यु क्यान आस्क है हामीलाई. ओके यो बारेमा हल्का थोरै मात्रै किन अघि सेम कुरा रिपिट भइसकेको छ. अनि
स्किल्समा obviously त्यो problem solving skills, thinking on your feet, कुनै पनि problem आयो भने त्यही बेला कसरी थिङ्क गर्ने, how to work through that problem to find a solution होइन. टेक्निकल स्किल्स सबैले सिकिन्छ होइन. त्यो मोडलिङ स्किल्स obviously सिकिन्छ. You also learn how to strategize होइन. कुनै पनि कम्पनीको एक्सपेन्सन प्लानहरू कसरी बिल्डअप गर्न सकिन्छ होइन. मर्जर प्लानहरू एउटा कन्ट्रीदेखि अर्को कन्ट्रीमा एक्सप्यान्ड हुँदैछ भने त्यो कसरी हुन्छ. अनि जस्ट द होल प्रोसेस अफ बिल्डिङ अ कम्पनी होइन, रेजिङ क्यापिटल एन्ड अल द्याट. अनि त्यो सबै नै त्यो ओभरअलै सिकिन्छ. बट इट्स अ ह्युज फिल्ड, सो आई मिन आई कान्ट एन्सर इट इन 2 minutes. So इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्किङ धेरै कुरा सिकिन्छ क्या. डेटको फाल्टै हुन्छ, इक्विटी रेज गर्दा फाल्टै हुन्छ, प्रोजेक्ट फाइनेन्स गर्दा फाल्टै हुन्छ, स्किल्सहरू सिक्ने. तपाईँले ड्यु डिलिजेन्स गर्दा फाल्टै स्किल्सहरू सिकिन्छ, क्लाइन्टलाई पिच गर्दा फाल्टै स्किल्सहरू सिकिन्छ. सो या
ओके यहाँनिर चाहिँ ओके एडभाइस फर एस्पायरिङ फाइनेन्सियल प्रोफेसनल्स.
I mean, mostly you should always, be focused, be clear about your long-term goal, right? And where you want to build your career. That's one thing. That's very important. Second, invest in your don't look at your short-term goals. Okay, short-term, for example, we can just get into any business school, any MBA college, and all that, right? But try to invest in your long-term goals, and try to invest in a place where you can build that network and all that. Invest is not just in terms of fees derich or fees hallow and all that. Invest in terms of preparing for that business school and such, or for that role. And we can't just say कि होइन मलाई Yale जानु छ, Harvard जानु छ, Stanford जानु छ, and then not prepare for it, right? It's a lot of competition out there, right? त्यसको लागि you have to stand out from others, and you can only stand out when you work your ass off, right? You have to study every day, you have to network every day, you have to talk to people in the industry every day, and yeah, I think just do that consistently, and then to long term सबै ठीक भइहाल्छ. But yeah, invest in your long term goals. Short term उठ्नुको लागि short term मा छिटो छिटो पैसा कमाउनु या short term मा छिटो छिटो मास्टर्स सकाउने and all that. It's my personal opinion is try to work through a long term goal. Try to aim for the best अनि बाकी त बढिहाल्छ.
ओके जस्ट उस्तै नै हुन्छ होइन. ओके मैले पनि इन्स्ट्यान्ट ग्रेटिफिकेसन भन्दा पनि डिलेड ग्रेटिफिकेसन भनौँ न होइन. त्यो कुराहरू हामीले सिक्नुपर्ने हुन्छ होइन. अहिलेको जेन्जीहरू भनेको इन्स्ट्यान्ट रिटर्न आओस् होइन, इन्स्ट्यान्ट ग्रेटिफिकेसन आओस् भनेर सोचिरहेको हुन्छौँ. तर लङ टर्ममा त्यो भनौँ न इट्स लाइक डिलेड भनेको राम्रो. एउटा यो समथिङ युएस को खै कुन युनिभर्सिटीमा मार्समेलो रिसर्च भनौँ न त्यस्तै के भएको थियो त्यसमा पनि यो इन्स्ट्यान्ट ग्रेटिफिकेसन र डिलेड ग्रेटिफिकेसनको बारेमा भनौँ न लाइक लङ पिरियड रिसर्च भएको थियो त्यसमा पनि यही कुरा आएको थियो है रिगार्डिङ सक्सेस भनौँ न करियर ग्रोथमा ओके हामी अर्को क्वेसनमा जान्छौँ ओके यो बारेमा लास्ट हिजो अस्ति भर्खरै कुरा भएको थियो नि हाम्रो पनि
blended finance is especially हाम्रो इमर्जिङ इकोनोमिज नेपालको केसमा अरू इमर्जिङ इकोनोमी ब्लेन्डेड फाइनेन्स भन्ने कन्सेप्ट छ हैन जस्ट रिड अबाउट दैट इज भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ यहाँ नेपालमा जति पनि इन्भेस्टमेन्टहरू हुन्छ इन हाइड्रो पावर प्रोजेक्ट्स इन्भेस्टमेन्ट फ्रम यो अब डिएफआइजहरू हैन डेभलपमेन्ट फाइनेन्स इन्स्टिट्युसनहरू मल्टिल्याटरल डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्क्सहरूबाट जति पनि इन्भेस्टमेन्ट हुन्छ अब नेक्स्ट 10 इयर्समा इट विल फर्म लाइक ब्लेन्डेड फाइनेन्सको फर्ममा हुन्छ क्या ब्लेन्डेड फाइनेन्समा के हुन्छ भने लाइक ब्याङ्क लोन होइन डोनर एडभाइस फन्ड भन्छ त्यो युएसको फ्यामिली अफिसेसहरूले दिन्छ लोनहरू फर फिलेन्थ्रोपिक पर्पसेस त्यो अरू मल्टी डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्कको लोनहरू विच इज लोवर इन्ट्रेस्ट रेट देन कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कको त्यो सबै मिक्स गरेर दे स्ट्रक्चर इज सच अ वे कि it makes sense for an investor to invest in a project that's not very rewarding. So two concepts that's one. Fintech obviously that's emerging, especially in Nepal. Our payment ecosystem है ना national payment उतो पनि आउँदैछ हैन नेपालमा पनि similar to India, people are trying to get that UPI kind of platform in Nepal as well. And Tukura would be great. I mean, that would almost change the whole industry and investments go, how people consume and all that expenditure, economy of Borsa, and that will obviously lead to a lot of new companies coming up and all that startups. So fintech, blended finance, or different types of finance. Read about mergers, acquisition. Read about investment banking, private equity. And यसको लागि के गर्नु भने like just keep those keywords written down हैन go to your Google account that Google alerts भनेर हुन्छ हैन option Google alert मा just click like add those keywords and then Google will directly send you every day they will send you an email with a list of articles like 5 articles related to that keyword so do that always read up हैन अनि this is app called InSort भनेर त्यसमा although India is पनि थुप्रै न्यूजहरु हुन्छ like they also talk about a lot of economies like world economy related news world finance related news so use those apps read a lot yeah I think they
okay thank you यो गुगल अलर्टको बारेमा मलाई आइडिया थिएन म चाहिँ ओके यो गर्छु लास्ट टाइम हाम्रो बेचमा हुँदाखेरि जिरोडा समथिङ त्यसको पनि एप्लिकेसन त्यो भर्सिटी ओके त्यो पनि कस्तो राम्रो लागेको थियो मलाई ओके थ्याङ्क यू फर यो गुगल अलर्ट मलाई राम्रो लाग्यो म पनि अब केही कुराहरू एड गर्छु हामी नेक्स्ट क्वेसनमा हामी जान्छौँ तपाईँहरूसँग केही क्वेसन छ भने तपाईँहरूले सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ है च्याट बक्समा सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ अनम्युट गरेर सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ ओके यो सायद यो लास्ट क्वेसनै हो यो अहिलेको चाहिँ
piece of advice planning a structured career in finance I was very clear कि मलाई investment banking गर्नु छ investment high finance मा जानु छ so I built all those pieces according to that and मैले first job पनि PwC लिँदा I did a job where I could learn financial modeling हैन 10 months मैले financial modeling I learned and then I went to investment banking to front end investment banking role हैन so build like have a goal and then build your pieces around that accordingly like take up a job maybe that's not the job that you aspire to have but take that job up and learn something out of that job a job that will help you get another job just think about that build a plan and then I think that's all just stick to the plan or के भन्न सकिदैन यसमा धेरै
ओके अब हजुरहरुसँग केही क्वेशन छ भने चाहिँ तपाईहरुले भन्न सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ
Well, Dada, as we were talking about GMAT as well, which is essential for MBA admissions. So, त्यसको लागि चाहिँ staying in Nepal चाहिँ what would you recommend? Like, कहाँ गएर कसरी चाहिँ हामी prepare गर्न सक्छौं?
I mean, online थुप्रै उतोहरु छ हैन ज्याम्बोरीको उतोहरुको GMAT मैले कहाँ गरेको थिएँ GMAT quiz भन्ने थियो. It just helps you with practice हैन. Normally चाहिँ you can do it on your own. And mostly मैले पनि I did it on my own. GMAT Club भन्ने छ, gmatclub.com. त्यसमा टन्नै रिसोर्सेस छ क्या, from math को क्वेशनहरु, verbal को क्वेशनहरु. If you just practice हैन, start with quants, get done with your quants को different topics हैन, त्यही GMAT Club में you will get a book. I think I've shared a resource called Gmail link with the end as well. You will share it with you guys, but go to that structure prep, quants को सबै सकल टपिकहरु GMAT Club देखि क्वेशनहरु प्र्याक्टिस गर. त्यो सकेपछि verbal को reading comprehension को एउटा एक्सेल थियो which I sent to the end. त्यो एक्सेलमा 200 question कति छ हैन. If you are done with that, your reading comprehension is done हैन. बाकी उटोमा बच्यो critical reasoning मा पनि questions you can just get it from GMAT Club. Okay, GMAT Club को question 4-5 practice गर, you are done with त्यसमै GMAT Club मा you get the explanation and all that, so you don't really need a teacher to guide you कि यसको यो किन answer यस्तो हो, how to think through कि यो answer मा कसरी reach गर्ने भनेर they explain it $8 comments and all that. Okay, so GMAT Club is a great resource. Use that. If not, if you like in a teaching or classroom environment, use online resources like Jamboree or GMAT Quiz and all that. Right? So I think तिनीहरु सस्तो पनि हुन्छ अनि better पनि हुन्छ. Apart from that, if you really want to do physical classes नेपालमा, personally I have not done it, so I can't really vouch for it if it's good or not, but there are classes available in Viratnagar I think and in Kathmandu, Jamboree. But well-known brands Jamboree is a well-known brand in India at least, so and Nepal I think they're doing great. I don't know Viratnagar coach right now, but Viratnagar GMAT classes, so just reach out to them. But before taking a class, take a demo class. Okay, do it in our class, do take quants or verbal ko, see if you like it, if you are understanding what the teacher is teaching, only then enroll in that class, otherwise don't. Even for online classes for that matter, right? Take a demo trial period, go through the videos that's available. If you like, if you're understanding what they're saying, only then go ahead with purchasing that. Otherwise, there's always GMAT Club that you can go to and then study from. When if you don't understand anything, there are people like me or anybody else who have done GMAT, right? You can just go ahead and ask them,
All right. So I have also heard that publishing resource papers is also valuable part for preparing for MBA. So especially when someone is aiming for fee waivers or scholarships. So what are your thoughts on this?
And that's obviously good, right? Like I said, you have to build a holistic profile, profile that stands out from everybody else, and especially when your work experience is not that, if someone's work experience is not that great, when I'll have less number of work experience than another candidate. What you can showcase is you have done research, you have built expertise in a certain field, you are interested in this field, that's why you have done research on that. And published research papers are obviously great, and not just for MBA, even for getting a job out of MBA, right? It's taken very positive outlook from companies and from interviewers and such. So it's great. It's great. It's just that the time commitment is a lot. If you can take that time out to publish a research paper and all, that would obviously add value to your profile.
Okay, Dada. So I had one more question. So when it comes to IT training, what types of skills or training programs would you recommend we acquire?
Finance specifically, you should know Excel, right? You should be very well versed with Excel. You should be, Excel is one. You should know all the shortcuts. I'm telling you, you should know how to build a financial model if you want to be in finance. If you learn that, you're great at Excel, right? Do that. Apart from that, PowerPoint presentations and all. That's a huge part of any good role, like in India, outside India, whether you are in finance or consulting or marketing or wherever, you should know how to make a good presentation, right? And make it very quick. Like for example, I'm client call देखि आधी घंटा एक घंटा पहिला presentation बनाउनु पर्छ, Excel model बनाउनु पर्छ. You should know how to do it, and you should know how to do it quick. Okay, and you should IT skills nowadays just generative AI ko bare ma you should know. Okay, generative AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, perplexity and all that. Like how do they function? Not just using it, but how do they function actually? You know, what are the underlying tech behind it? The blockchain KO, all of that knowledge you should just have. Right? General knowledge you should have. Blockchain KO, so prompt engineering KO, so on. Prompt engineering is a huge market. I mean, just for like it really on companies are. So you're supposed to also, yeah, sorry. I mean, if you can learn SQL query and all that, that's Python and all, that's also great. I mean, especially high finance, like trading jobs are much to really overcome. So Python query. Yeah, feel free. Otherwise, like reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, wherever. I'm accessible everywhere. So just reach out to me in terms of any kind of.
म ग्रुप च्याट बनाइदिन्छु
त्यसमा
कतिवटा ग्रुप च्याट भइसक्यो होइन ओके ठिक छ
that works. Even GMAT, finance, general, or for example, Rohit reached out to me for the model bit. I can help. Next food, I mean, placement live with you 4 months almost, all Chile also, so it's fine. Okay, I think we can wrap up 5 or 5 questions or so.
कतिको like how can we make the most of the networking opportunities or कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ होला भनेर भनिदिनु न
I mean, build your online, like I said, be like right now, go on LinkedIn, build your online presence there, connect with people in the industry that you want to be in, or not just the industry that you want to be in, or like generally, Nepal leaders, like business leaders, investment space, and so just connect with them, send a connection request, like look at their posts, create engagements, talk to them, you reach out to them, just have an introduction, direct message, or this, I'm doing this one. I would like if any topics or any that you want to learn about from them, just reach out to them on LinkedIn. That's one bit that is a great source of networking. Otherwise, obviously, I mean, there are people like Dean and I who can connect you with people just to network and all that. So platforms like EdNep and then LinkedIn. Apart from that, I mean, BBA, Nepal, I think you can connect, you can, participate in competitions and all that, which just helps you network with people from different colleges, right? Or professors from different colleges. You can move and see, or campus or professor or some, for example, I think Prasanna is doing some model United Nations, just like competition, or hall prize competition, or participate just to build that network of people from other colleges and all that. That also helps. Just 5 years down the line, especially MBA, why I value networking so much, because all of my friends in my MBA batch, right, 5 years, 10 years down the line, they are going to be CFOs, CEOs, of like, or they will be building their own businesses and all that, right? And just to have that connection, just to know them, I would never have to worry after ISB MBA. I will never have to worry about the next job that I need to do. I want to do, right? To get that job, I can just connect with anyone that I know from my batch or anyone who have passed out from ISB. So just to know your batchmate, that people from other colleges, KU or I think Tribal University or Go student, so that is also huge. So student could network plus industry leaders or network from LinkedIn. These two things I think one should focus on widely. I think like get their bachelor's and all.
Okay, म यसमा एक दुईवटा कुरा एड गर्छु ल यसलाई म पनि भनौँ न बिबिए नै हो महिन्द्राबाट हो र म धरान बाहिर चाहिँ एकदमै कम गएको छु त्यो पनि अनलाइन सोसियल मिडियाबाट जस धेरै कुराहरू गर्न सकिने रहेछ भनेर हो फर्स्ट अफ अल मैले चाहिँ स्टार्टिङमा बिबिए को नेटवर्क बनाएँ नेपालभरि हैन अनि त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ अलिकति मलाई सजिलो भयो मान्छेले चाहिँ धरान भन्ने बित्तिकै धिरेन सोध्छ क्या हैन त्यो चाहिँ त्यो एउटा त्यो भएको थियो सेकेन्डली त्यसपछि यता एमबिए को कलेज एमबिए भनौँ न हैन बिबिए पछि एमबिए हुन्छ भनेर थाहा पाएँ त्यसपछि एमबिए को दाइहरू हुन्छ नि त्योहरू चिन्जान भयो भनौँ न अब जस्ट बिबिए पास आउट गरेको सिनियरहरू त्यहाँबाट लिने त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनि जब मार्केटमा चाहिँ अब भनौँ न ब्याङ्किङ च्यानलमा लिङ्क बनाउने त्यसपछि ब्याङ्किङ च्यानलमा लिङ्क बनिसकेपछि राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क अनि त्यसपछि वाणिज्य त्यसपछि अदर कमर्सियल ब्याङ्क त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनि त्यो पछि फर्दर बिस्तारै गरेर चाहिँ अगाडि बढ्ने हो क्या सुरुमा चाहिँ स्टार्टिङ विथ बिबिए त्यसपछि एमबिए त्यसपछि जब मार्केट अनि 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 अहिले चाहिँ म राइट नाउ 2टा नेटवर्क बनाउन लागेको छु, एउटा वर्ल्ड ब्याङ्कको र एउटा भनौँ न यो हामी आइबी लिग कलेजहरूको चाहिँ भनौँ न स्टुडेन्टहरू उनीहरूसँग लिङ्क बनाउँदैछु होइन। जस्ट उनीहरूको चाहिँ इन्स्टाग्राममा चाहिँ के हुँदो रहेछ भने लाइक हिमांशुले नै मलाई सेयर गरेको थियो, यो हाम्रो यल युनिभर्सिटीको नेपाली स्टुडेन्ट कमिटी हुन्छ नि होइन, किन उनीहरूको अलमनाईहरू उनीहरूको पेजहरू छ होइन एकदमै। अनि मेरो चाहिँ फलोवर्स भन्दा पनि फलोइङ लिस्ट एकदमै धेरै छ क्या इन्स्टाग्राममा, त्यही कुराले हो। अनि हो त्यसरी चाहिँ यु क्यान रिच आउट। ओके, त्यसपछि फर्दर केही छ भने यु क्यान आस्क है।
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच।
ओके, सायद हाम्रो यति नै होला।
Okay, we can wrap up. Thanks, Jayendra.
Okay.
Thanks for organizing this, and everyone, feel free to reach out whenever. Chat bana di aadam se Jayendra le, but feel free to reach out with any topic.
Okay,
So,
thank you,
All right.
thank you everyone.
thanks. All right.
Thank you so much, Dada.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Viren Dada, as well.
स्टुडेन्ट हामी ब्याचलरमा पढ्दै गरेको बिबिएहरूलाई चाहिँ कतिको लाइक हाउ क्यान वी मेक द मोस्ट अफ द नेटवर्किङ अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ होला भनेर भनिदिनु न।
I mean, build your online, like I said, be like right now, go on LinkedIn, build your online presence there, connect with people in the industry that you want to be in, and then, or not just the industry that you want to be in, or like generally, Nepal leaders, like business leaders, investment space, and so just connect with them, send a connection request, like look at their posts, create engagement, talk to them, you reach out to them, just have an introduction, direct message, or this, I'm doing this, and I would like if any topics that you want to learn about from them, just reach out to them on LinkedIn. That's one bit. LinkedIn is a great source of the networking. Otherwise, obviously, there are people like Dhiren who can connect you with people just to network and all that. So platforms like EdNep and then LinkedIn. Apart from that, BBA Nepal, I think you can connect. You can participate in competitions and all that, which just helps you network with people from different colleges, right? Or professors from different colleges. You can move and see or campus or professors. For example, I think Prasanna is doing some Model United Nations, this type of competition wo, or Hall Prize competition or wo, participate karne, just to build that network of people from other colleges and all that. That also helps. This 5 years down the line, especially MBA, why I value networking so much, because all of my friends in my MBA batch, right, 5 years, 10 years down the line, they are going to be CFOs, CEOs, of like, or they will be building their own businesses and all that, right? And just to have that connection, just to know them, I would never have to worry after ISB MBA. I will never have to worry about the next job that I need to do, I want to do, right? To get that job, I can just connect with anyone that I know from my batch or anyone who have passed out from ISB. So just to know your batchmates, that people from other colleges, KU or I think Tribal University or Go student, so that is also huge. So student network plus industry leaders or network from LinkedIn, these two things I think one should focus on widely. I think like get their bachelors and all.
ओके, म यसमा एक दुईवटा कुरा एड गर्छु ल। इट्स लाइक म पनि भनौँ न बिबिए नै हो, महिन्द्राबाट हो, र म धरान बाहिर चाहिँ एकदमै कम गएको छु। त्यही पनि अनलाइन सोसियल मिडियाबाट जस धेरै कुराहरू गर्न सकिने रहेछ भनेर हो। फर्स्ट अफ अल मैले चाहिँ स्टार्टिङमा बिबिएको नेटवर्क बनाएँ नेपालभरि होइन। अनि त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ अलिकति मलाई सजिलो भयो। मान्छेले चाहिँ धरान भन्ने बित्तिकै धिरेन सोध्छ क्या होइन, त्यो चाहिँ त्यो एउटा त्यो भएको थियो। सेकेन्डली त्यसपछि यता एमबिएको कलेज, एमबिए भनौँ न होइन, बिबिए पछि एमबिए हुन्छ भनेर थाहा पाएँ। त्यसपछि एमबिएको दाइहरू हुन्छ नि, त्योहरू चिन्जान भयो भनौँ न। अब जस्ट बिबिए पास आउट गरेको सिनियरहरू त्यहाँबाट लिने। त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनि जब मार्केटमा चाहिँ अब भनौँ न ब्याङ्किङ च्यानलमा लिङ्क बनाउने, त्यसपछि ब्याङ्किङ च्यानलमा लिङ्क बनिसकेपछि राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क, अनि त्यसपछि वाणिज्य, त्यसपछि अदर कमर्सियल ब्याङ्क, त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनि त्यो पछि फर्दर बिस्तारै बिस्तारै गरेर चाहिँ अगाडि बढ्ने हो क्या। सुरुमा चाहिँ स्टार्टिङ विथ BBA, त्यसपछि MBA, त्यसपछि जब मार्केट, अनि 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 अहिले चाहिँ म राइट नाउ दुईवटा नेटवर्क बनाउन लागेको छु, एउटा वर्ल्ड ब्याङ्कको र एउटा भनौँ न यो हामी आइबी लिग कलेजहरूको चाहिँ भनौँ न स्टुडेन्टहरू उनीहरूसँग लिङ्क बनाउँदैछु होइन। जस्ट उनीहरूको चाहिँ इन्स्टाग्राममा चाहिँ के हुँदो रहेछ भने लाइक हिमांशुले नै मलाई सेयर गरेको थियो, यो हाम्रो येल युनिभर्सिटीको नेपाली स्टुडेन्ट कमिटी हुन्छ नि होइन, किन उनीहरूको अलमनाईहरू उनीहरूको पेजहरू छ होइन एकदमै। मेरो चाहिँ फलोवर्स भन्दा पनि फलोइङ लिस्ट एकदमै धेरै छ क्या इन्स्टाग्राममा, त्यही कुराले हो। अनि हो त्यसरी चाहिँ यु क्यान रिच आउट। ओके, त्यसपछि फर्दर केही छ भने यु क्यान आस्क है।
Thank you so much. I mean, my goodness.
Okay, we can wrap up. Thanks, Jayendra. Thanks for organizing this, and everyone, feel free to reach out whenever. Chat bana di alum se Jayendra le, but feel free to reach out with any topic.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you everyone.
Thanks. All right.